Well, look at that. It's only 7.5 degrees today. Not really fancy getting out of the car, but I've come to do a Volvo V70. Yeah, I've got a few minutes so I can warm up before I go knock on the door. So I found the vehicle. There's no off-road parking here, it's just a street. And there's no spaces. So I'm sort of like wondering where he thinks I'm gonna park. Did he think I was gonna turn up on foot with a backpack? Who knows? We'll find out in a minute. Sometimes I just need to crack on and pull my finger out and say, you know what, it's cold, but let's just get on with it. So I've got the keys to the vehicle. I've done a scan. Yeah, she's got a few faults going on. So that's what I'm going to be dealing with today. And I'll be showing you how to remove a Volvo V70 ECU. And we'll be using the K-Tag side of KESS3. Okay, here we are. So I'm too cold to even be hanging around with this one. Someone's been playing with some fuses. Yeah, who knows what's going on with this. It may have an OBD option, I'm not sure. Some of the OBD options on Volvos are flaky at best. This is one of the older ones, and right underneath here is the ECU. So I'm going to go fetch a Torx driver, pull this out and sit somewhere warm, like in the back of my van. It sounds like a good plan. I've only got a caddy, so everything has to be kept as organised as possible. Makes for an easier way of working. So in this drawer here, at the back here, I'll have all my Torx, and we'll get the ECU out. Okay, so I'm a lot happier now that I'm in the warm. Maybe this is the wrong job for me. Okay, just in case anyone's unsure, it doesn't know how to know what ECU model it is in a vehicle. Like this Volvo here, it's got a Bosch ECU. All I do is go to the Bosch repairs site, which that address there, take that number, enter it in, and hopefully it tells what ECU it is. So bear with. 1281 012 103. And there we go. It's an EDC 16 C31. So I'll crack open the KESS. Okay, so we've got the pin out for KESS3. These are the diagrams. There's two possible pin outs for this one. What's the chances of getting the right one first? I don't know. This is how Alientech do it now. It's not great, to be fair. What was okay 15 years ago isn't okay now in today's standards for me to have to hold. Yeah, whatever, you like it or hate it. But what is hilarious is that this bird's net shit is some, look at it, is they really, the cheapest, nastiest, must be 15 pence worth of wires there, and they expect you to pin those out to the ECU, then pop the other end on that. There's only one place for that, and that is in the bin. So what I've got is, again, a breakout cable. None of that silly wiring, just plug it straight into KESS3. Why the hell they never used a breakout cable in the first place, I don't know. Those wires are just a joke, to be fair. Hey, looks like I was right first time. So let's do it back up. And away we go. So that's successfully written now. I just want to go back over and explain. You can have this bundle of bird's nest wires and untangle it every single time, or you can buy yourself a breakout cable for KESS3, just plug it in and use the right wires. I'm not totally against, although I use a breakout cable on all my tools, I'm not totally against this, apart from, let me show you, these are the cheap, I can't explain how cheap, nasty these wires are. Flex do a similar system where you pin it out yourself, but look at their wires. Look, they're kind of, they're not going to tangle up. They're kind of rubberized. They're much thicker. They're soft. They you know, they're not going to. These are just nasty in comparison. So if you're gonna, you know, spend a little money on your wires, if you're gonna, but they are just awful, belong in the bin. For me, if you're a KESS3 user, then just buy yourself a breakout cable. Okay, so she's all back together now. Yeah, it's back together. I'm gonna put the bonnet down, start her up, and on to the next job. Like I said, there probably was an OBD option. I just knew where the ECU was in these, and the reality is you always got to think about what's the safest way of doing stuff. And for me, if you bench something like this, I can do a full backup on these old ECUs, including the EEPROM. So if anything was to ever go wrong, I've got a full backup of the vehicle, whereas OBD, you don't get that. Well, maybe you do with this one. Who knows? Some of the older vehicles you can, but I suspect not. But it's just beautiful. The strut isn't strong enough to close the bonnet, but job done then.